Well, good morning, everybody. Danny back from Deepsouth Homestead on Porch Time. Guys, we're back at the old plow again today over at Pecan Grove. I'm having to make some videos over here early this morning. It's Sunday morning because I'm going to be tied up all week, and I got to do my videos this morning. So I'm out here. Actually, I have the light on the camera turned on. It's before daylight, and it's beautiful. It's in the 60s. I'm enjoying it. In front of me here I have all my pots set up for all my growing for this winter here. We're amending them, getting them ready. We have, the video you've probably seen on this where we were showing you we were going to get them ready. That's what we're actually working on. And other things I'm trying to get done today, while I got a little bit of time to get it done. And the weather's very nice today. Now it's going to get really hot today, so I have to do this really early in the morning. And I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people, but we got cool weather coming, guys. If you can hang on till next weekend, it's actually going to cool down. Maybe Texas is going to get a good bit of rain out of this system coming. So you guys out there in Texas, I know y'all been struggling for some moisture. Hopefully you're going to get it this week. I don't know that we're going to get anything here, but if we do, it'll be a small amount. I looked at what didn't look like it's going to be much. But I'm enjoying the morning, guys. I mean, I haven't been able to get out and do much enjoying of the outside, so I'm able to do that now, today. Yesterday I enjoyed a good bit outside with Miss Wanda. It's kind of, you have to catch up on days like today. You don't get to really get the full impact of it, but you get to enjoy God's creation. I've been out with the birds all morning, listening to them before daylight, waking up. I have been doing that. I just got back in from Deepsouth Homestead, feeding the animals over there. I just got through feeding them here at Pecan Grove, and it's a little bit of road work here and there, but the guys, I tell you what, it is so nice to sit here and just enjoy the creation of the Lord. And today, Porch Time will be a little bit different. I've been listening to some meetings. Dealing with our food supply here in the state of Mississippi. We actually have a board that's been created here in the state of Mississippi now. We have some Chinese nationals who came in and they bought up an 88-acre facility here in Mississippi, and it has sparked some really serious interest with our agricultural department here, which I am so happy of. We actually have some laws on the books here in the state of Mississippi that says land cannot be sold to a non-American citizen, but the laws are very vague, and they're having to go back and having to look at those laws. The agricultural department is, and I'm glad of that. The only thing is that we're also looking into lots of places, lots of different entities, let's put it that way, are using LLCs. And an LLC, you can use any name for an LLC. I mean, I can go and buy land anywhere and put it under an LLC, and it's under another name. You have no idea who I even am. And I could be from another country, and that's what they're looking into right now, is how many, they're opening up some divisions. I'm trying to figure out how many LLCs in Mississippi are not actually owned by United States citizens, but by other countries. They've come in under false names and stuff like that and open up LLCs, and they buying up stuff. And guys, look, when you take a country's ability to produce, or a state, let's just say a state or a country, with their ability to produce their own food away from them, and you allow somebody else to do it, you just lost your ability to survive. And that's what we're trying in the state of Mississippi to get around and not let happen here. Now, it's probably got a big foothold here, and that's one of the things that's scaring everybody, is that we've got a huge foothold in this state, but really in the country. And guys, other countries are struggling to produce their food right now. And our national security system used to keep many years worth of food supply, but right now we keep a 1-year food supply. And with the drought going on nationwide like it is, the food is dwindling, and that's why we're doing videos now. I know I don't get to put a lot of videos out, guys, and I am so sorry about that. I just can't make a lot of videos right now, but what I'm making, I do hope y'all will watch, because we're trying to show you things that I know and I have been made aware of that's going to be an issue, and I want to teach you guys some of the stuff that I'm being shown so that you can raise your own food. I mean, and I'm trying to do it in a way that where you don't have to have a lot of land. You know, and a lot of land is not going to be the answer in the future, let me tell you. Because there's things happening to the earth right now that is making growing plants very difficult. And you're going to see this. I'm not going to have to harp on it. You're going to see this in the future. Just like I've told you in the past, what's coming today, you're going to be seeing this in the near future. The earth is going through changes right now that is going to make growing vegetables and growing fruit and growing stuff like this extremely difficult. You're going to see certain states along the southern borders down here that their climate's going to change drastically. And I say drastically, I'm talking about they're just going to dry up, you know, and I'm in that zone, you know, and I'm sitting here like, okay, I got to start making provisions now. We all know, if you I don't watch the news, but I have other sources, that you know that there's a saltwater intrusion coming into Louisiana. It's not going to just be Louisiana, guys. This is going to happen all over the whole United States. We've opened up so many places under the earth that the salt water is actually coming in, and some of it is our own fault, because we now have passage. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Maybe I won't get in trouble. We have passageways under the United States where we can move our military underwater facilities. We have things like submarines and stuff like this that can move underwater. We actually have underwater facilities underneath the whole United States. We can go from coast to coast, and we never have to get out in the oceans, in other words. And what that's done is that has opened up the ability for the water to come in underground, and because of things that's happening on the floor of the ocean, the salt water is beginning to come in underneath our land, and water is going to be very hard to come by here in the future. Good drinking water. If you don't have a way to get the salt out of the water, and most of our treatment facilities are not set up for that. I will say that. I had a neighbor here from Pecan Grove up the road. He was asking me, he said, man, have you heard about the new saltwater intrusion in Louisiana that could happen to us? And I'm like, yes, sir, I know all about that. I've known about it for the last several years. I've tried to tell people this stuff was coming. I said, nobody wants to believe it. Everybody wants to live in a fairy tale land and think that, well, everything's going to always be like it is. We're going into a better facility. We got more technology. Bull crap, hogwash. That is all that is. They are painting over the canvas so we can't really see what's behind the canvas. You know what I mean? There's things going on, and that's why I'm making these videos. I wish to goodness more people, we're being shadow banned so bad. I wish that more people could see some of the videos that we're putting up that has to do with the gamma rays coming up from the earth, why we're getting pops up off the ground, the aluminum from chemtrails, you know, how it's affecting the pH of the soil, binding up the phosphorus in the soil, all this kind of stuff. You know, these are the things. This is God's earth. Guys, the earth is going through changes. And there's a group of people, a younger age group of people that has been brainwashed into save the earth type of thing. And you know what? There is an element of truth to that. There again, we go back to this a psyop mentality that I can tell you a half truth, and then I can paint the picture around it. It's still a lie, but there's just enough truth in it that it piques your interest and it leads you in that direction. That's the psyop. That's what psyops do, and that's what's being done to us through the media and through different organizations and stuff like this. In a younger age, people are falling for this hook, line, and sinker. And yes, do we need to be better to the earth? Yes, we do need to be better to the earth. We've mistreated the earth. We've poisoned it. We've polluted it. We've done all these kind of things to it, and then we expect it to still yield its bounty. And I guess the one thing that the old devil has done more than anything else to destroy our land is the use of this chemicals in hay fields, like Grazon, Remedy, 2,4-D, all these types of things. Even though some of them are created, like 2,4-D is created from the chrysanthemum, a plant-based material, it's still a chemical poison. And guys, farmers are spraying this stuff on their fields like crazy because, and it's our fault, because we as people, as a consumer, don't want hay that's got weeds in it. Because we go, oh, I don't want the weeds on my property. Let me tell you, you'd be better to have the weeds, because the problem is people don't understand weeds. Weeds tell you what's lacking in the soil. If your soil is not lacking in these things, those weeds will not flourish there. And people are poisoning their land with this Grazon and Remedy and stuff like this. And these aminoprylids, and everybody goes, oh, well, you can plant sunflowers. Sunflowers don't work on aminoprylids. An aminoprylid gets rid of any broadleaf, and it's a block builder on the cell structure of the plant. The plant will look beautiful, it'll grow up and be beautiful, but the cell structure will outgrow the plant, and it'll actually grows faster than the root can supply the nutrients, and it'll die. So we're facing this stuff being sprayed on our farmlands all over the place, and you're looking at many years of being able to ever plant a garden there again. So this kind of stuff is destroying our farmland. Now we're sitting here at Pecan Grove. I'm trying to keep all this stuff from actually happening here at Pecan Grove. We're trying to keep it as normal and as natural as we can. We're trying to set up to where we can raise our own food, where we can produce our own food here, and we can give God the glory by taking care of the land that He has blessed us with, and using the things that He's blessed us with, like the manure from our animals that has not been fed Grazon or Remedy or anything like that in the hay. We're trying to get set up now to cut our own hay and produce our own hay here at Pecan Grove, so that we are not being drug into something that causes us to actually, have a chemical here that we don't want on our property. Because right now the land is clean. It's like almost like virgin land because it hasn't been used for the last 30 years. And this is one of the things that we are trying so hard to build here is a place that actually functions like it's supposed to function. And it is being held up so bad. That's Miss Wanda's just getting here. She gets here a little bit later than I do in the morning. But if you hear anything in the background, it's probably her. But guys, these are some of the things that we're facing here. Food production is going to be one of the #1 things in your future. Number 2 is going to be your water supply, because both of them are totally necessary for human life, and both of them are being tampered with. And that's one reason, I have for the last 5 to 6, 7 years have been pushing food production, because I know what's coming, I know how it's going to work, and I'm very sad about it, that there's nothing that I can do other than try to put out some good quality videos that will open the eyes of people so that they can begin to produce their own food. That's why we're doing a lot of container gardening. Now, can I raise enough food in these containers to keep me and Wanda going for a year? And the answer is absolutely not. Can I supplement our food with these containers? The answer is yes. I highly encourage people to purchase as much food as you possibly can and store it. You know, the Bible strongly speaks of a year's food supply. The Lord in the nation of Israel told them to always keep a year's food supply ready and on hand, and that he would bless them from harvest to harvest. And then on Sabbath years, they were to get 2 years worth of food and store it up. So we see that we are commanded by God to do these things, and stocking up, storing, that's all through the whole Bible. I mean, Joseph done it for 7 years with them while they were in Egypt. I mean, it's all, I mean, Noah had to take a year's worth of food on the ark with him at least, because he's on there almost a year. And I mean, and guys, you have to stop and think. I mean, not only did Noah have to carry food for them, he had to carry food for the animals and stuff like that. And there is a big controversy that the Lord calls them to hibernate and they all went to sleep and all. And I don't know, because I wasn't there. Okay, and neither do you. You can only speculate. But let's just look at it from a common sense standpoint, because sometimes the Bible means what it says, and it says what it means. We try to read into, and we try to add this, we try to add that, we try to make this say this, make this say that, and just stop and say, you know what? How does it read? What does it say? Because sometimes it means what it says, and it says what it means. We don't have to look at it like a secret code or something like that that's embedded in it, even though those symbolic things are in there. That comes through discernment and wisdom and years of study and stuff like that. But the Bible has more to say about agriculture. Now, you may blow your mind on this one. The Bible has more to say about agriculture and agricultural products and stuff like that, and that lifestyle, than it does about salvation. Now, doesn't that blow your mind? Yeah, that's something to think about. Because you don't know why? It's because when the Bible was written during that period in history, agriculture was what life was all about. They literally had everything was based on agriculture. There's all kinds of scriptures in the Old Testament talking about how a man's to treat his animals, how he's to treat his flocks. All these kind of things is all in there. I mean, it's all in there about if your neighbor's animal gets over on your property, what you're supposed to do with it and how you're supposed to handle it. All those things are in there. There's all these things in there about that type of stuff. And many times we just overlook it and we go, oh, that has no bearing on us today. And the answer is, yes, it does have a bearing on us today. It's all about what we do and how we do it. And if we live our lives according to it, I think we'd find out we'd have a lot better life to live. So, you know, think about that today. Think about how set up are you if something was going to happen. And I always use the word if, and that is a bad word to use. It's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen, because it is going to happen. The food supply is going to get in trouble. We know that. The entities know that. I mean, like the war going on across the big pond over there between the big superpower and the smaller country is simply because the smaller country provides 1/3 of the grain and the wheat for the world. And they know that we've got these problems coming, and that they're going to need it to be able to keep their people fed. So they're going to take it. I mean, why do you think China's going into Africa? Why do you think they're coming into America? Why do you think they're buying up American facilities and all that? Why do you think the big money people are buying up land in certain places of the earth? Because they know about the climate that's going to happen, and they're making provisions. And yet, we as God's people sit back like a bump on a log and go, well, God's going to take care of us. And the answer is no, he's not, unless we do our part. We must do our part in order for him to come in and to do what he's supposed to do. He's not going to just dump it in your lap. So, guys, my morning's going to get away from me here. And the heat's going to build on me pretty quick. I got to shoot some videos for the rest of the week so that we'll make sure we've got them done. So I appreciate each and every one of you. If you'll actually take time, go back, watch some of these gardening videos, and just pay attention and say, you know what, how can this bless me? How can I use this to help my food supply? Because we're trying to cover everybody. We're trying not to leave anybody out, even people in apartments or anything like that. We want you to have the confidence that you're able to just literally be able to produce your own food. That is our goal for today. So guys, stay with us, watch us, and hopefully we can help you out. Thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.